Hello everyone. So our topic today is about cultural problems in translation. Before we explain about this, let's define what is language, culture, and relationship between these two. So I will go with language. What is language? Language is a system of conventional spoken, manual or sign or written symbols by means of which human beings, as member of a social group and participant in its culture, express themselves. Or in simple, language is a tool for communication. And then what is culture? Culture is the characteristic of particular group of people defined by everything from language, religion, social habits, music, and arts. So, what is the relationship between language and culture? Language and culture, they influence each other. Language reflects cultural beliefs and norms, while cultures shape language. Understanding one helps understand other, as they both vital roles in human communication and society. The most prominent problem that is faced translator and interpreter is translating cultural nuances such as idiomatic expression, humor, and cultural references.
Idiomatic expression. The first is definition of idiomatic expression. Idioms can be found in daily life, from informal conversation to formal written text. They are an inalienable part of each language found in a large number in most languages. However, idioms have meaning that sometimes depart from the literal meaning. Therefore, it is important to understand what is an idiom, how idioms carry meaning, and what translators do to maintain that meaning in another language. An idiom, also referred to as an idiomatic expression, is a set of words or phrases that has a figurative meaning conventionally understood by native speakers. Although the idiomatic expression is a universal feature of language, different languages may use literally different idiomatic expressions with similar referential meanings. Idiomatic expressions are phrases or words that have a meaning that is not literal but figurative. They are commonly used in everyday conversations and can be difficult to translate accurately into other languages. The second one is challenges in translating idiomatic expression. Idiomatic translation requires far more than the replacement of lexical and grammatical items between languages, and it may involve discarding the basic linguistic elements of the SL text. Becker classifies problems involved in translating idioms into four subcategories.
Here are some common challenges in translating idiomatic expression and strategy to address those challenges. Difficulties in translating idioms. First, an idiom may have no equivalence in the target language. Some idioms are bound to culture that do not exist in other places with different language. For example, the idiom feather in one's cap. This idiom means exceptional achievement. This idiom is derived from the culture of some Western countries, indicating that placing a feather in one's cap is a sign of a significant achievement by the wearer. There is no equivalence from this idiom in Indonesian language. Even predicting the meaning of the idioms is unlikely for Indonesian. Second, an idiom may have a similar counterpart in the target language, but its context of use may be different. Third, an idiom may be used in the source text in both its literal and idiomatic senses at the same time. Unless the target language idiom corresponds to the source language idiom in form and meaning, the idiom cannot be successfully rendered in the target language. Another example from the American idiom, raining cats and dogs, has nothing to do with cat falling from the sky. It is a colloquial expression used to describe heavy rainfall.
So let's jump into the humor. So what humor is? Humor is a literary tool that makes audience laugh or that intend to accuse amusement or laughter. There are two types of humor. The first one is linguistic humor and the second one is cultural humor. The linguistic humor is divided into three types. The first one is phonological, second one is morphological, and the third one is semantic and pragmatic types of humor. Phonological humor is created by playing with stress, intonation, and pronunciation, while morphological humor is humor that's created by playing with morpheme, and the last type of linguistic humor is pragmatic and semantic humor. This linguistic type of humor can be found in polysemous phrasal verb. And the second type of humor is cultural humor. Cultural humor are based on shared cultural references, values, and norms, stereotypes, or experiences within a particular society, such as jokes, anecdotes, or comedic elements.
Linguistic and cultural differences affect humor expression and receptions. Westerners view humor as a common positive trait, while Chinese or Eastern culture sees it as a special talent in common and ordinary people. Humor use varies between Western and Eastern countries, with Westerners using humor more frequently as a coping strategy. Easterners tend to use more adaptive humor, while Westerners use more maladaptive humor. What does it mean? Adaptive humor refers to the use of humor in a positive and constructive way. So it involves using humor to cope with stress, enhance social interactions, improve mood, and also promote psychological well-being. On the other hand, maladaptive humor refers to humor that is used inappropriately or harmful. So it sometimes can be hurtful and offensive.
So the first one, how does Moby Dick celebrate his birthday? He has a whale of a party. So the humor here comes from a pun on the phrase whale of a party. So in English, a whale of something is an idiom used to describe something large or impressive. In this humor, whale is humorously associated with Moby Dick, a famous whale from literature, implying that Moby Dick would have a big and impressive birthday party due to his size as a whale. The second one, why is a duck scared of fire? It doesn't want to be a hot dog. Well, this humor plays on the double meaning of a hot dog. In every language, a hot dog refers to a type of food made from sauce in a bun. However, in the humor, hot dog is used literally, implying that a dog doesn't want to become hot from the fire and turn into a hot dog, and it doesn't mean the food item. And the last one, what is the biggest pencil in the world? And it says Pennsylvania. The humor relies on a play on words with the word Pennsylvania. In this context, pencil and Pennsylvania sound similar, but they have different meanings.
Next, we're going to talk about cultural references. So, what is cultural references? Cultural references are lexical items that may be absent or have different meanings in the target culture compared to the search culture. For example, in Chinese culture, Dongfeng or east wine symbolizes warmth and hope, while Xifeng or west wine represents desolation and coldness, reflecting cultural references. Translating CR poses challenges for translators due to cultural gaps, leading to the need for effective translation strategies. These challenges include achieving functional pragmatic equivalence, preserving semantic nuances, and conveying metaphorical meanings. Strategies such as contextualization, adaptation, and explanation are employed to address these challenges and ensure accurate and culturally sensitive translation. Translation procedures as proposed by Oak 2012 and discussed in Pita Albalama's 2016 work include various methods for transferring culture-specific items from the search text to the target text. These procedures aims to maintain cultural relevance and ensure understanding for our target audience. As example, in the translation process, direct transference may be used to transfer culture-specific terms like Indians, work paint, and full battle dress directly into the target text without modification. For example, these terms may be translated into Latvian as Indiani, Kaujas Karasas, and Pilnakajas Arpgerba, respectively. This maintains the cultural identity of the search text in the target language, ensuring that the cultural references are understood similarly in the both cultures.
Therefore, in the following section, strategies are provided in order to face these challenges. Number 1, cultural awareness and sensitivity. Number 2, translation strategies. Number 3, education and communication. Number 4, building cross-cultural relationships. Other that strategies that are also 7 translation procedures proposed in Vita Palama 2016. Those are number 1, direct transference of a cultural item. Number 2, transference of a cultural item with explicitation. Number 3, transference of a cultural item with explanation. Number 4, target language expression referring to the source culture. Number 5, naturally common explanation of a cultural item. Number 6, omission of a cultural item. Number 7, and the last one, substitution of a cultural reference with a cultural equivalent of the target language.
Translator use cultural substitution as a way out of this rather ambiguous situation referring to translation of the cultural reference. Whenever a cultural element is replaced in the source text by a target language word or phrase which is considered specific to the target cultural and has similar function or connotation as the source text element, disregarding is categorized as a cultural substitution. In many cases, target text readers may be unaware that an item is specific to their own cultural and does not exist as such in the text source culture. The main idea is to transfer the cultural item of the source cultural text to the preposition of the end readers of the target culture, so the general cultural context loses as little as possible, if any. The situation of cultural specific lexical unit is often closely connected with the use of stylist device of literary work.
So, the conclusion from our topic today is translators are vital for connecting languages and cultures, facing challenges like linguistic nuances and cultural differences. While technology helps, human understanding is essential. To overcome these challenges, we must encourage dialogue between cultures, support language diversity, and train translators. Embracing cultural differences and recast our global community by promoting understanding and respect.